Totes Recall.
Welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we can't remember very well, eat pizzas and salads with the viewing of that movie, come back full of that and ourselves, and talk about again what we've learned about everything. My name is Dan.
This is Motley.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this holiday season is How Harry Met Sally. The meeting of Harry and Sally and their time together.
Crushed it.
I have not seen it and don't know why we're doing it for the holidays.
Wow.
This is one of the brilliant things about When Harry Met Sally is it spans multiple holidays,
Yes.
most notably Christmas and New Year's.
Yes.
Okay, so it is a holiday movie.
It includes
Holidays movie.
December holiday-based film.
Yes.
There might be a Thanksgiving thrown in there. I don't remember.
I think it goes over some period of time. My trouble with this movie is I always overlap it in my brain with Sleepless in Seattle.
Right.
So I'll be thinking about something from this movie, and instead of Billy Crystal, Tom Hanks will appear in my brain.
Yeah.
The
Sleepless in Seattle is
movie.
definitely a Christmas movie.
Oh, Valentine's Day too.
Is it? I thought it started. Is it Valentine's Day that it starts? I thought it started on Christmas.
Oh, it starts on Christmas, but it goes through Valentine's Day at least.
Whoa. Another holidays movie.
But the movie we're talking about is When Harry Met Sally.
When Harry Met
Do you think this was also made in 1999 when every other movie was made?
No.
That late? That would shock me.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
I feel like...
As someone who hasn't seen
87.
it, I'm going to say 85.
Oh, boy.
Whoa.
I'm going to say 88.
I'm guessing 87.
Wow. I'm going to go 92.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I think it's a 90s movie.
Wow.
I don't know.
Well,
Guess we'll see.
Guess we'll see
I
what
claim
your other
all
five
of the
bets
19
are over the next few minutes here.
Right.
I was going to claim all of 1990s.
No.
Wow.
That's, all
You get a
right.
whole decade?
That's not fair.
Seems unfair.
Ridiculous.
Okay.
Uh, overruled and watch yourself, counselor.
I've seen this movie halfway through.
Which half?
The first, I guess you can see the second half, like if you watch it on TV or join someone. But I watched the first half and then fell asleep on the couch and then didn't ever finish it. And this was recently, though, so I knew I had an opportunity coming up. And honestly, it was very recently, I would say within the last year, and I don't remember anything that happens in this movie, except for maybe they don't really like each other in the first half.
Okay.
They get in little arguments.
Who? Who gets in little arguments?
Harry and Sally.
And they are...
People.
Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan.
Oh,
Okay.
I see what you're saying. I was like,
I know that.
they're
And
human beings.
Yeah. I obviously know the DVD scene of the orgasm, the diner orgasm. I'll have what she's having. LOL.
LOL.
Old ladies like to orgasm too.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey.
The media?
85 through 1999. It's cool that old ladies have orgasms. So stop thinking it's not. Teens?
Done.
Teens? You know, it's not gross. It's cool.
It's cool that old people come. Teens. So, just check yourself.
Teens?
I'm pretty sure Carrie Fisher is also in this movie.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty sure.
She's the
Yep.
friend, right?
Carrie Fisher.
What?
Yep. And I think it will definitely pass Bechdel Wallace.
Okay, isn't she in the Seattle Sleepers?
She is
I
not
don't
in
think so.
Seattle Sleepers.
What?
She's a friend in a movie I've seen, though.
Maybe it's this one.
That'd be amazing. What if
She's only played one friend and Star Wars.
Yep.
She was. Yep, that's it. You're right.
I just saw Sleepless in Seattle, and I cannot remember who the friend is in that one, but I think it's Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
Oh, that sounds
Yep.
right.
But also, we're talking about a different movie,
We're talking about Harry Sally.
Harry Sally.
Because
Okay,
Nora
New York?
Ephron wrote
Billy Crystal won't do a movie outside New York unless it's City Slickers. Where it's from.
But he starts in New York in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I think so.
NYC.
Yeah, and I would say your chances of seeing a hot dog vendor are reasonably high.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
That's exciting.
It's very New York centric.
Yeah.
Lots of museums and cool stuff.
Do we think there's a scene where Harry goes to a baseball game?
Oh.
Yes. No. Maybe.
All right.
Wow.
Very firm.
Cover your bases.
Taking a firm. Ah!
Well, because there's that scene where they do the wave, but I think that's Tom Hanks in Sleepless in Seattle. But maybe it's Billy Crystal
Isn't
in
that
When
Fever
Harry Met
Pitch?
Sally.
With Jimmy
Also,
Fallon.
I also think it's Tom Hanks and Big. Did they go to a
No,
baseball
the
game and
wave?
Big?
I'm saying that Billy Crystal goes to a baseball game in this movie.
Okay.
That's
All
my
right.
bet.
I support you. I'll
Does
support
Meg
that
Ryan
bet.
also go to the baseball
No,
movie?
I'm
No.
going to bet that he's with his best friend, who I think is also his best friend in City Slickers. I think it's the same actor.
Daniel Stern? Or
No, the other guy. Kirby.
Bruno Kirby.
Right?
Okay.
Or
Oh,
Rob Reiner, which is a pretty good guess because that's Tom Hanks' best friend.
Oh my God.
So they go to the baseball game for the scene in a rom-com that is like, oh, I don't know about this woman.
Right.
Oh, hey, you should go
She
for
drives me crazy.
Hey, you should do something about that lady.
it. Yeah.
And then
Well,
they.
maybe you should-
Oh, strike.
Yeah.
That's the background.
Great.
Do you think there's an audible saying strike in the movie? That's a bold
yes.
bet.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
All right.
Wow.
We'll listen
great.
for it.
Umpable?
Oh, God.
Umpable.
Oh, my God.
Umpire.
What are
but
you
with a-
doing?
Started with an A. The umpire. Like audible.
Molly, please say whatever you were going to say. So he stopped.
Keep all this in.
Wow. So I'm pretty sure Nora Ephron wrote this, or Ephron wrote
Ooh.
this. And I think she also wrote Sleepless in Seattle. I think that's why we all get them confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one thing that I think I'm going to enjoy about this movie, Molly's bet, is it has a lot more richness and complexity than most rom-coms.
How so?
Well, I can tell you as someone who has recently been binge watching terrible holiday rom-coms made for the Hallmark Channel, that you just see everything coming a mile away. And I'm not saying that this movie isn't predictable. It still follows that format, but the characters are much more rich and interesting, and it's fun to spend time with them and funny. The other thing that I like is that both Harry and Sally are complete people with personalities.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch most rom-coms, there's a very bland gentleman stand-in for the love interest. I mean, super bland. Like, I think they cast for blandness
Yeah.
because I
Prince
cannot
Eric.
conjure in my mind any distinguishing feature or any personality traits.
Right.
And I also like the way it's constructed and the vignettes and all of the couples in it. It's a very sweet movie is what I
Yeah,
remember.
I remember liking the dynamic between the two of them. Like, I remember just, like you said, enjoyed the time we spent following the two of them as a group or as a duo. Because they're not really a couple for most of the movie. They're just kind of
That's right.
They're just friends.
So is this the one where there's like older couples talking like that, like interstitial throughout the movie? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I remember this now. Are they real?
Those-
No.
Are they real?
Are they real couples? Are they
Or
actors?
are they ghosts? Are those
Great.
ghost couples?
Ghost couples.
I mean, I don't think they're ghosts, but I also don't know for sure if they are. I assume they're actors, right?
Okay. I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Please do.
I'll let you know.
Interesting if they were real.
I will also preview for you that I'll be insufferable on facts, both because of Wikipedia and because the last time I saw this movie, they had put together packaging around it, like where you, that's what we used to call it. I don't know.
Like
It's where
ribbons?
you put, no, where you sell to an advertiser. You say, hey, Totes Recall, you can sponsor When Harry Met Sally.
Ah,
And for extra money, we'll make it more of an event by putting a lot of packaging around it. So we'll do
Oh.
like the DVD version
DVDs.
where when we explain some aspect of the movie or some background information, your logo will be emblazoned on the bottom of the screen. And we'll have our hosts and stuff. So anyway, somebody paid a lot of money. I don't know who the advertiser was, but there are lots of little details.
Where did you watch this packaged movie?
Wait, what?
On cable television.
Okay.
So this is like a pop-up video for ads, or this is in the movie like Audi sponsored the movie like it's a Bond movie.
No, what Molly's saying
leading...
is she knows every time a licensed brand appears in this movie, and we're going to get excited about it.
No, it's a way to guide you into the ads.
So
devious.
You watch the movie, and then it immediately transitions into a couple of hosts giving you information about it, and that immediately transitions into your sponsor ad. A few more ads, but then you come back to get the trivia answer. It's just a way of keeping you.
Okay.
It's a way of refreshing content that people have maybe seen before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like dinner and a movie kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Remember that show? That was good.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
enjoyed
the
it.
hosts aren't also doing the advertising? Because that'd be funny.
That would
If they were like talking about the movie
50s.
and then be like, that reminds me of Crystal Pepsi.
That plot point was clear as Pepsi.
Okay, Beth, cut this out because I still don't understand it. It's boring to keep getting it explained. But, so the movie will play. They'll be like eating cheesecake in the movie, and then it'll cut to commercial. The host will be like, "That cheesecake looks good," and then it'll cut to a Cheesecake Factory commercial.
No.
No, dude.
It will be like did you know the movie will be playing and it'll be like, did you know in that scene that's actually Rob Reiner's mom? And then it'll be like, all right, great, see you later. Wait, we have one more fun fact. Come back after the break. And then the commercial will play and they'll be like, here's the fun fact that you almost missed. Now back to the show.
Yeah.
Oh, and the commercial has nothing to do with Rob Reiner's mom.
Right.
Yes,
Exactly.
it's just to keep people on the channel.
You're adding a level of synergy that maybe wasn't available in the years 1990 through 1999 that Molly thinks this movie came out.
Okay.
This isn't a podcast, Dan, where you can integrate advertising
Yeah.
smoothly.
Smoothly and easily for less money than you maybe would think.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
I'm gonna chug this Crystal Pepsi now to replenish my voice so that it sounds as buttery as Land O'Lakes butter does.
Okay. First of all, don't give that shit away for free. Beth, cut this out.
How do they meet cutely, as they say in the biz?
On a plane? I want to say it's on a plane. I think they're sitting next to each other on a plane and they're irritating each other somehow.
Oh, I like that bet.
Ooh, I think. Okay. Here's my bet because I think I actually remember how this movie goes. I think one of them is giving the other one a ride somewhere because they have a mutual friend. It's like, oh, Harry's going to wherever too, so you can just ride with him. Probably from somewhere to New York, I assume.
Okay, and it's John Travolta, and it's his personal plane.
Yes. Yes.
So you're both right. Molly was nodding the whole time, so I assume that's right, and I won't make a bet.
Sorry, I didn't mean to give anything away.
It's
I
all right.
will say they are in an automobile.
Okay, an Audi or
And they're in college, I'm pretty sure.
Whoa.
oh, whoa.
Oh.
Are they in college the whole movie? They're like,
No.
No.
like old teens?
No,
That'd be
this movie
amazing.
spans a long time.
Oh, so this is like, hey, remember when I gave you that ride?
I think they meet
And you're,
cutely
like,
a
high as
couple of
balls.
times.
Yeah.
And
Oh
then
yeah,
10
it's
years
like
later-
they see each other and then they fight the first time, right? And then they run into each other again. It's like, oh boy. Maybe the second time they meet is on a plane.
And it's cute.
And it's real cute.
Yeah.
Nothing cuter than a plane. Right?
Nothing
Ryanair
cuter than a
Airways.
plane.
If you're
Then
in
there's a
Europe and want a
train.
cheap flight, take Ryanair.
What are you doing?
That's
What
what
are you
I did
doing?
when I had to go from
No free
somewhere
shit.
in the UK to the Czech Republic.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Braggy.
Confirmed. I took a flight.
Can I make a bold bet not having seen the end of the movie?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, my bold bet is that you see this like love story happen. Like they don't like each other, then they start to kind of like each other, and then eventually they become a couple, and then they're sitting on the couch like the other people are talking about their relationship. That is my bold bet on how it ends, having never seen the end.
Wow.
Nice.
I am also going to be bold. Beal bold, big man, Blair Witch Baggins, and say that they don't end up together.
Oh, that
end,
is bold.
They're not a couple.
Maybe they're sitting separately on the couch.
Yeah, they're two Barco loungers. What a comfortable chair to sit in.
What are you doing?
Not near each other.
Are you a couple but not? Try Barco loungers.
Do you have a storied history with each other but don't actually have that close of a relationship anymore?
Do you want to sit by someone but not touch them?
Actually, this might be the right time for it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that couple that, remember the bathtub couple from those commercials?
Oh, Cialis.
They're too close.
Oh, the separate bathtub couple?
Oh, they are in
Yes.
separate bathtubs.
They are.
They're in Corona bathtubs.
It's a metaphor for something else.
Oh, I
It's
get
like
it
one's
now.
the boner bathtub and the other's no bone.
Not the boner.
The bone tub.
No bone.
When's-
The no bone tub. Anyway, this is about the movie
No.
Harry Met Sally. Dan's bet. There's gonna be a guy that Sally is with at some point in their many meets, and he's going to be like, he's either going to be like comically bad, like absurdly stupid and annoying, and like why would she be with him, or he's going to be not really that bad at all, but you're still like supposed to be like, why is she with him?
But maybe he's English.
Whoa, maybe.
Like in rom-coms, the like new boyfriend that the other one is jealous of is like almost always English.
Right, like, we just met in the airport when our luggage was switched or something.
Like a Pierce Brosnan.
Yes,
situation.
exactly.
It's me, Pierce Brosnan. I met Sally on the flight back from the UK. What's your name? Harry? Hello, Harry.
Oh, sorry, I spilled my tea all over you, scolded you.
I
Yanks
made
can't handle it.
my futures in lithium. That's going to be really valuable in a few years, and your country's going to try to overthrow several legitimate governments to try to retain control of it. What? Did I say that out loud? Chin
It's
up.
all right. We made our fortune in India, treating the people very badly.
Pierce, time to come in for some tea. It's your mother,
Oh,
Jenna
that's my mother,
Brosnan.
who also came here. Oh, she sure does love Sally, she does.
I think you have to break up with her. All right, have some tea. Molly's bet.
Yes.
Meg Ryan is brilliant in this movie,
Okay.
and she has an incredible crying scene.
Ooh.
Oh,
So good.
emotion.
And just a heads up that Billy Crystal does a little tiny improvisation in a museum.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you for that heads up.
Come on down to the Museum of Modern Art. We're located in the heart of
Molly.
Midtown, New York.
Molly, no.
Is that it? Did you
See-
just do it?
No, see, Dan, this is what I'm saying. This is what you've been doing.
What? God, that was such a native ad read. I didn't even know it was happening.
It wasn't an ad read because we're not getting paid. You guys are messing this up for all of us.
Yeah.
Do you
someone
like
should pay
circular
us.
stairs?
I just
Come to the Guggenheim.
I just don't think you understand how ads work. How ads work is that you read an ad
Yeah.
and then you call the company and you
Yes.
say, we did an ad in our show.
Oh, I
Please give
apologize.
us money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go to all the websites and enter promo code Totes.
And
nothing will
confuse
happen,
everyone.
But like IT will be like, hey, everybody's using this code and it doesn't work. Maybe we should look into it.
Yes.
And then someone will type into DuckDuckGo that where's Totes now.
DuckDuckGo, you say?
Yeah. I'm sorry, they're CEOs. They probably have their own private billionaire search engine.
Or they're using GoDaddy, which is quick and convenient. Low prices.
I hate this. I hate all of this so much.
You have to search the web by creating your own URL,
Yes.
building your own search engine.
Yep.
Then just copy and paste from Google, and then it's your search engine. Anyway, send us Square Cash. A great
What?
way to send cash.
Who?
Advertisers.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
I regret supporting this bit, but it is really fun.
Do we think either of them have more than one friend in this movie?
Oh. Yeah.
Like
But
more than
they
one
each have,
best
like-
friend?
Yeah. They got,
I mean, like, do we ever see them interact with anyone else besides the Harry or the Sally, or Harry friend or Sally friend?
I bet we see them interact, but I bet we don't hear that other person speak.
Huh.
Like they're
Like,
like
it's
at
like,
a
oh,
party.
yeah, like
and then
just-
she's like, "Oh, sorry, I was just talking to my friend Megan over here."
Right.
Megan
I
Ryan.
think-
Or they'll be like, I talked to you later.
and
What?
Ryan Air.
my
I think
God.
there's a mother. I think one
Okay.
of them has
Oh.
a mother.
Great.
And I guess if I'm going to be Beelable, Big Man, Blair Witch Baggins, I'm going to say Billy, the kid's got a mother.
Okay. Is she like an overbearing mother who's just like, Harry, when are you going to get married? You got to give me some grandchildren. Oh.
I need them blood to keep my living going. Yeah, I think she's a classic vampire mom.
Okay, great.
Do you think that Sally talks to her friend at all about not Harry or another man?
Great question.
Oh, smooth transition.
Thank you.
Yes, I think it passes the Bechdel-Wallace test.
I'm going to be bold, the blah, 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 and say no. I'm
Wow,
going to
that is
say
bold.
Sally and friend only ever talk about men.
Yeah, it's tough because Carrie Fisher's character is in a dead-end relationship that preoccupies her for a lot of the movie.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I'm going to guess
Carrie
that
Fisher.
it does pass, but Meg Ryan is not involved in the passing of.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I bet it's two other women,
Wow.
Maybe like
like
Billy's mom
and
like,
Carrie
cool,
Fisher or something.
cool aunt are
Yeah.
together.
And cool aunt number one.
And they're like,
There's
"Well,
lots of cool aunts in this
the
movie.
peasantry have been rising up. Click.
I
Wow.
I would like to make a saucy Bechdel-Wallace bet.
Okay.
I'm going to say that passes Bechdel-Wallace at least 3 times.
Whoa.
Wow.
What does that mean exactly?
Just that it will pass 3 times, like 3 different conversations. It might be the same characters
okay.
or different, but
Okay,
yeah.
different scenes
Mm-hmm.
or different conversations, I guess.
Oh yeah, different conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Also, can I change the year to 1988?
Wow. Absolutely not. You claimed an entire decade and you were going to stay in that decade. That is ridiculous.
You stay in the 90s, Molly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay in the 90s, you Gen Xer.
Yeah. Wrap a flannel around your waist.
Yeah. Boo-hoo. Listen to your Nirvanas.
Wah. I appreciate the commercial rise of rap.
Well, what do you think we should rate this movie with, Molly?
How many adorable romantic vignettes?
Adorable romantic vignettes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
I mean,
Is it though? It's like one of the worst rating scales I've ever come up with.
I just feel like usually I have some clarifying questions, but I feel like
Yeah.
I
Maybe
know
you
what
just nailed
an
it this
adorable
time.
romantic vignette
No,
is.
I understand that completely.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anymore.
Crystal clear.
Good job, Molly.
Crystal clear. Thank you.
Oh, crystal Pepsi clear.
It's the drink of this generation.
It's which generation?
The one from the movie.
Your
Yeah.
pick, PepsiCo. Dan?
Yeah. I remember liking this movie a lot when I saw it. I feel like it's one of those classic rom-coms of the day that it was a part of, which we are saying was not the 90s except Molly.
Can I change the rating scale?
Oh boy.
Wow. What is it?
Meet cutes.
Meat
Okay,
cutes?
I do have questions
Meat
about
cutes.
this.
Okay, I also do. Go
Is
ahead,
it
Beth.
is it a meet cute like MEET or a meet cute like MEAT? Like a cute piece of meat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
it's like
it's
adorable
ME.
little ham.
Yep, that's exactly it. Yep.
But it's
It's
one
adorable.
piece of meat?
Well, no, because they have to meet each other.
So it's
Oh,
two,
they're two
pieces of
pieces of
cute
meat.
meats meeting each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, is it so each point of the scale is 2 pieces of meat?
Yeah, because they're
Meeting?
holding hands. They're holding hands.
Oh, that's
so you
cute.
can easily see that they're together.
Exactly 2, or are you open to like a try meat?
I'm not judgmental. You
Okay,
can have
so
whatever
a
kind of.
number
Of meats.
adorable meats
Yep.
meeting cutely.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
This is much more on brand. I feel much better about
Okay.
this.
Speaking of brands, Honey Nut Cheerio. Okay, God, I hate myself. Okay, I remember liking this movie a lot when I was a young, lonely teen, desperate for love.
I've heard of it.
So, but so maybe that colored it slightly, and maybe it's like just okay because back then I was just like, oh, if what could be, or whatever. Because I certainly would have liked to have met Cute, a nice lady, and had a fully developed relationship that ended probably pretty good. I guess we don't know until we see it.
Good looking pile of roast beef or something.
Yeah, exactly. Arby's.
Ooh, I love those curly fries.
Great. Jamocha shakes. Do they still have those? Those are good. Anyway, I'm going to say, I bet it's still pretty charming. So I'm going to say 4 meet cutes.
Next, as always, Beth.
Why did you say it like that?
For his own
Thanks as
brain.
always, Beth.
That was his own brain making sure he didn't screw it up and talk first.
Okay, so I did see the first half and fell asleep, so that doesn't say much. But also, I think I was enjoying it. I was just very tired that day.
Mm-hmm.
The other indicator is that I have been looking at lists online of movies to watch when you're in quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And every single list has When Harry Met Sally, which makes me think
Oh.
this is a high quality movie. And I'm going to say 5.
Wow.
Whoa,
That's a lot of meat.
bold.
Yeah.
That's a lot of meat.
It's a lot of meat. It's almost a whole sandwich. Was that a thing?
What?
Stickwich.
I
Never
mean,
mind.
that's
I take it back.
at least 10 meats.
Yeah,
10
it's too
types of
much
meat.
meat.
Quite a
maybe.
sandwich.
Yeah, that's Mamma Mia.
It's like a smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a deli counter.
Oh my
Well,
God.
but they're also too cute to eat.
We'll
Oh.
see. We'll see about that.
So
I think that's subjective.
All right, I have not seen this movie, but I've not seen it on purpose. It's not like I have cursed its name
Yeah.
each dawn and try to find a copy to burn or anything.
Wow.
And I also, I have heard great things. I think it's Nora Ephron is quite the filmmaker. And this is, the way people talk about it, this is the one. So I'm going to be Bilbo Big Man, Big Bears Baggins, and say 5.
Wow.
Wow.
Very bold.
Yes, this it's just drenched in Arby's sauce. You got 10 different kinds of meats. They're at an airport and they just trip over each other and fall into a big heap and then just drizzle with that signature tang.
This is sounding
that you
more
come
than
to
cute.
expect
This is sounding much more
from
than cute. This is
Arby's,
sounding-
yeah.
the cowboy restaurant. Molly.
I am pretty excited to watch this movie again. I am hoping it is as fun as I remember. I think probably the gotta get married by the time you're 30 dating pressure thing will make me a little sad because
Was that a
it's
thing
such a
in this movie?
Oh, it's a thing in every movie.
Oh, is this like this is like the apple pie movie, but for marriage? American.
Harry, you gotta get married before you turn 30. Otherwise, my bones will shrivel in the dawn light and I'll crumble into dust.
I think that movies pretty accurately reflect and perpetuate that pressure,
Indeed.
which is super unfortunate. But anyway, either here nor there. I'm hoping that will bum me out, but to hedge my bets, I'm going to give it 4 meet cutes.
Nice.
Wow.
And these meets are adorable.
Okay.
They've been together a long time. They're really cute.
Oh.
Yeah.
But wait, aren't we
Anyway.
talking about?
old meat?
Aren't we talking about
What?
Aren't we talking about the meats that when they were? So we're not talking about when they met. It's just meats that are cute. The status of the
You know what?
relationship is all over the place.
Yeah, can we go back? Are these? I was under the impression that these
were like
cute
they were
meats
just
were
meeting.
meeting cutely.
Yeah.
Is that not true? They are just cute meats at any point in time.
Well, okay. I should clarify. A few of them have been together a long time, but when they met, it was a meet cute.
Okay.
Okay.
But they're
So
still so
they-
cute, and they're still meats. So
They
it
are
still
meats
works.
that have all met cutely.
Yes, and some of them are further away from that are closer to it. Some of them are meeting for the first time.
Okay.
Wow.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's really
I
sweet.
understand. Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying. All of mine are meeting for the first time.
Yeah. As I said, all of mine are colliding at the pilot airport. And they'd be drizzled with that cowboy sauce. Yahoo, Arby's. Send us some spare cash.
Oh my God! Yeehaw! Get yourself over. Strap your horse to the post outside of Arby's. Whip crack. It's Arby's time.
And with that, we're going to press pause, go watch When Harry Met Sally, and we'll be right back.
Hello, it's me, Beth Gibbs, one of the hosts of this podcast that you're listening to currently. It's called Totes Recall. You can find more about us at totesrecall.com or follow us on social media, or like we're kind of everywhere, including in your ears right now.
We're kind of a big deal.
Wow.
Kind of a big deal. And I just wanted to tell you all real quick about patreon.com/totesrecall. Because, okay, there's not a second .com. You just need to type in the first .com. Don't be led astray by Dan Jaquette.
Yeah. You can say it out loud as you hit enter on your keyboard.
Oh,
Whisper
yeah.
into your computer.
Yeah, your computer knows. So if you head there right now, you can become a patron. And what that means is for as little as $1 a month, you can support the creation of this show and also get access to a bunch of awesome content, bonus content. We have a Discord. You can join our Discord. We chat with everybody on there. There's lots of bits going on. And if you feel like throwing in even more a month, we have some awesome other rewards like hats and other fun swag. It's a great time, you know, just like go and check it out and like look at the website. I did little illustrations on there that are fun.
Yeah, look at the illustrations at least.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just appreciate some art, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Beth works really hard every month to make really beautiful art, and you're not doing anything. Nobody's focused on work right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Steal time from your employer.
Yes, absolutely.
Rest is resistance.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say patriotic.
That too.
USA number 5.
Number 5. Totes Recall.
Anyway, if your boss comes to your desk, say, "Shut up, boss. I'm looking at patreon.com/totesrecall."
Yeah.
And your boss will say, "Wow, you're so cool. Here's my job." And you'll say, "I don't want it because that's absurd, but give me your money." And they'll say, "Okay." No guarantees.
I think that's exactly how it'll work. So
Yeah.
head there right now. Check it out. .com.
back. We just watched 1 hour and 36 minutes of a delightful romp through New York City that was very fun and romantic.
New York, baby.
New York.
Baby. We got
There's
the Giants
lots of-
playing football.
There's lots of taxi cars driving down the streets.
That's what we call them in New York. Taxi car.
Taxi car.
Well,
I gotta get to the party.
We got like 15 different beautiful angles of Central Park.
Look at that arch.
Ooh, you want some beautiful windows in your apartment that you can definitely afford? Yeah, you can probably afford it because you're, what, a lawyer or something? It's kind of unclear.
Do you want the world's biggest rug in the entire world? It's the world's biggest rug in the entire world.
New York, baby. Big
New
rugs,
York.
big buildings.
Big apples,
Everything's
big
big.
rugs.
The big apple. Big rug. You're going to need a big rug to cover that apple. Oh.
Oh,
Anyway, yes, I agree with Molly. It was in New York.
Before
also
we go
Chicago.
too far. Oh,
Yes.
that's true.
started in
Hot
Chicago.
opening.
Which brings us to the origin of the movie
Oh.
and sets up for us beloved segment 6-second summary. Does
60
it not?
seconds.
6?
Whoa, you got to go real fast.
In a New York
wow,
minute,
wow.
there's only 6 seconds.
Hey,
So-
everything's big except for a minute.
Yeah. Hey, New York. We'll talk about that later.
Uh-huh.
As always, I will volunteer to do it, but maybe I just did it.
You did. Didn't
Or
you?
maybe Beth just did it.
I just did Blair Witch
Oh.
because I did it in 30 seconds. No big deal.
I'll do it. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
All right.
I'll set
someone
up
else.
the timer.
Oh, Molly's got the clock.
All right. We're ready when you are, Dan.
I'm
Go.
ready. Oh, we start in Chicago, the University of Chicago, 1970 something. Harry is making out with a lady, and they're in love, and Sally's got a car, and they're going to drive to New York together for reasons that aren't totally clear. I think Sally is friends with Billy Crystal's girlfriend at the time. They have a formative conversation where we learn about Billy Crystal's surface-level philosophy about relationships and how he's very neurotic.
30 seconds.
Oh my God. Okay. They meet a couple of times pretty cutely over the years, where they've matured. They're getting married or almost married. They're in close relationships. Then both their relationships fail, and they meet again around the same time their relationships fail. They become friends. They become good
10
friends.
seconds.
Many montages. Then they sleep with each other, which they always said was bad or wasn't how friends work. And then they're not friends, and then they're in love. New Year's Eve, baby.
Time.
Shit.
Wow. Not
Very good.
so easy to not spend way too long on the first 2 minutes.
Iconic scene. You know that iconic scene in When Harry Met Sally when Sally's sitting in a car and Harry
They're
is
driving.
kissing his girlfriend, his college girlfriend. That's what everyone talks about when they talk about this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
that was
wait
it.
in the car like she's waiting.
Anyway. Anyway, that's when Harry Met Sally was in outside of the University of Chicago campus in 1970 whatever.
Yeah.
Then they met
77.
several other times.
You know it's
77.
1970 because of Sally's hair.
Oh, yes.
It is just, what is it called? Feathered. It's very feathered.
Yes.
Yeah, her hair
Her-
journey
It was amazing.
is a journey.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Yeah. I would say his hair also goes on a journey.
It does.
And I don't
Does.
love the destination,
No.
but I get it.
This movie was 1989,
Yeah.
Nailed it.
which no
What?
one bet. And not even Molly on her unaccepted later bets.
Right.
Did she
Hey,
say
1990 would have been really close.
80? Yeah, it would have.
So would
not been.
1988, which I believe is what I bet.
Yes, Dan was the closest.
But I bet 1987 plus 2, so
Yes, and
No
I
one
bet
heard me say plus two.
85 with 4 keeps us alive.
yep.
Anyway.
And anyway, my point is there was a lot of mullets, sport mullets in this.
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Sure.
Carrie
were.
Fisher's got a sport mullet at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the year of the mullet, 89.
One
Apparently.
of many things I appreciate about this movie is how much it is a period piece within a period piece.
How so?
You know, well, you get these perfect little vignettes about, 6 years apart, a little bit less, right? And the costumes are so spot on. Like all of it was like a little journey, but also I loved how I'd forgotten like how rough around the edges the characters start out and how like genuinely like a little grating they are and how you come to really love them and feel like you know them by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Pretty
like annoying
good.
college kids.
You're right.
Yes.
Yeah, Billy
think they
Crystal
know
really
everything.
sucks for like 8 of the years that we know him, maybe.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
teens.
Hey.
Teens, don't bother dating somebody in their early 20s. Well, okay, teens shouldn't be dating people in their early 20s.
Right. Okay.
Anyway.
I feel like we're taking a lot of paths at the same time here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, most people are kind of garbage until pretty close to their 30s
Yeah,
minimum.
20-somethings, cool it.
Yeah.
You're not that
Also,
smart.
You're garbage, so like
Be
sometimes
nice to each other.
your garbageness can help each other, but
Ooh,
don't
right.
allow it to be a crutch that prevents you from working on your own garbage
Yeah.
successfully.
And like, don't make being garbage your identity. Right? Like that.
Right.
Like it feels at the time that feels like a way to win being in your 20s, but it's not. You're just an asshole.
When you're like, I've got it all figured out. Here are my philosophies on everything because I've
Yes.
thought about them and written them into a stand-up routine.
Yes.
And now I will say them out loud to everyone who will listen.
Yes.
Yep.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Unless you're like, unless you've got like a really tight set. Then like you're gonna
Oh.
kill it.
Then do it on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No?
teens, do it on stage.
Yeah. Practice.
Bring a recorder. Make notes of when people laugh, when people don't laugh. Go back the next night. Try it again. Make some revisions.
Yeah.
Until
Hone your craft. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, teens
Teens.
or 20-somethings, whoever we're talking to right now, do the work.
Yeah. You
Okay,
gotta
but-
put in the time.
But also, by putting the time, don't disparage other people for no reason other than the fact they haven't been around and failed as much as you have. Because then you're still just an asshole.
Hey, how about this? How about don't try out all your material on your current girlfriend? And hey, how about don't make some of your jokes about your girlfriend and do those jokes in front of your girlfriend and all of her friends? Let's not do that, Brian.
Whoa.
Let's not do that to people.
Wait a minute.
How about
Yeah.
that?
got real
This,
personal.
this took a turn, and I love it
Wow.
so much. I am
Wow.
pretty sure we are talking about Molly's intense Soviet Union boyfriend from when she was young.
I
we all know.
am from Soviet Union.
Hey, the people from Slovenia eat borscht like this.
But this is not a Russian accent at all.
No.
Have you ever noticed that Molly from America always wear blue jeans? Ha ha! Does she not know that is made by slave labor? Here
Oh.
in Soviet Union, we are all free. Thank you. That's my time.
And by my time, I mean I'm being taken away by the KGB for fraternizing with an American.
I do love that with every reveal of any aspect of my life, you somehow tie it back into the Soviet Union.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point we're pretty sure you spend like most of your formative years in the Soviet Union. I'm pretty sure that's Totes Recall canon now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, anyway, just don't date a stand-up. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you really want to, in which
Wow.
case, go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the lesson is more like stand-ups. Don't be a stand-up all the time.
Well,
You don't have to be on all the time, Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
Harry
Also-
Burns,
Billy Crystal, yeah.
who is into stand-up in this. He's like a lawyer or something.
Although, is it too early for Wikipedia moment?
Maybe.
I mean,
Okay.
we haven't sung the theme song yet, so
Yeah. So.
floor
All
is
right,
not
well,
open
hold
for
on
this.
to it. I'll hold on to it.
Speaking of him being a stand-up all the time, my wife, no big deal, watched this with me, and she was like, did they watch this movie and then immediately write Seinfeld? Like, was this entire movie the inspiration for Seinfeld? Because it is a lot of just like, what if we ate meals in delis and coffee shops, and I did my routines, and I'm neurotic.
Yeah, and the outfits are kind of Seinfeld-esque as well.
I would say I could see that in a pitch, right? Where the executive's like, wait, I don't get it. And so it's like, he's just going to do stand-up? I'm like, no. Seinfeld's just going to stand up for the first minute or two.
Right.
It's like, well, what's the rest about? Oh, well, he has friends. Like, I don't know, man. Like, have you seen When Harry Met Sally? Every deli scene. Were those fun?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great.
Solid
it's
pitch.
A red green light.
Solid pitch right there.
And nothing really happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Or everything happens.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know. The microphone's not going to pick up those eyebrows, but they were a waggling.
Thank you for acknowledging my waggle. Yes, but Billy Crystal sucks when he's a college student, and then he continues to suck as just entering the workforce.
26-year-old.
Yeah.
26-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, 26. He's been in the
That's
workforce
still
a while.
Kind of early 20s.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're in your second half of your 20s, but the early half of your second.
Well, he's
half.
like a hotshot legal man or whatever.
Yeah.
He's about to get married.
To
So he's
Helen.
feeling cocky, feeling like he can just spout off whatever his thoughts are.
When we get to it, I want to talk about Helen.
Please.
do
I'm
it.
excited about it.
So he's obsessed. This is his ex-wife. At some
Eventually.
point.
Yeah.
Eventually. And he talks about her all the time. But there's a point where they see each other in a store. They're in a sharper image.
Yes. Great.
And for some reason, she decides to walk up just to say hi, but not hi in like a, hey, how are you kind of way. It's like, hey, how are you? And if you're going to talk like that, don't even come up. Like, what's the point? I was very mad at that interaction. I was like, if you know that it's going to be like kind of like you're rubbing your new relationship into your ex's face, like, don't do it. Rude, Helen.
I mean, not to play Helen's advocate here, but it's also she
I will
might have
point
just
out that phrase is devil's advocate. So Helen is the devil, is what you're saying.
I just think that on
It's
the
in the name.
on the other side of it, she could have been talking to Ira, and being like, "Oh God, should I talk to him? If I just walk away, he'll just be like, oh, she's too good to talk to me." And it was probably this whole back and forth, and that's why she was so uncomfortable, because she was already in her head about it, right? Because if she had just walked away, they'd already made eye contact.
She did not approach him in a friendly way.
I didn't say
Like,
it had to be friendly.
She wasn't like, hey, how are you? Like, is this okay? Kind of like, I don't know if this is the right thing to do or not. She was like, hello, here is Ira. I don't know. I thought it was rude.
It was rude, but also the way she ended their marriage was pretty rude.
True.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just very consistent.
Yeah, maybe she's
Helen's
just
a
not very
rude-
considerate.
Rude person.
Although, and I will say again, to be, I guess, a Helen's advocate,
The
she
classic
hears
phrase.
her name, right? Because they're singing karaoke, and he
right.
says he tries to whisper Helen, and then it comes out through the speaker, and then it's reiterated by Sally. So
Right.
she may have felt like
Now I have
compelled to
right.
go over to say hi, but didn't really. But I think you're right. I don't think she showed any vulnerability or interest in making him more comfortable.
Maybe Ira is the one who insisted, because he's like, well, that would be impolite to not say hello. Like, it'd be weird not to say hello, right?
Maybe he's been like, when are you going to introduce me to Harry?
Right.
Why
or
can't
he's
we
just
all
like,
get along?
He might just be like, it feels weird to walk away from this guy.
I feel like they could have, if they both saw each other, they could have waved and been like, okay, we saw each other out in the world. We don't want to talk to each other, but we acknowledge that each other exists and go on with your day. But instead, it ruined his day.
And led to some great comedy.
Oh,
But you're right.
That's probably why it happened.
For comedy? So they can talk about
Yeah.
the wheel table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wagon wheel.
Oh,
Wagon wheel,
that was like
coffee table.
solid. That was like my favorite joke from the movie. when Carrie Fisher is like, no matter what, I will never want this table in the house. Or, I want this table.
Yeah.
Very good. Solid.
This is a Cracker Jack script. Nora Ephron does crush. I don't know if we predicted that. Maybe it was just implied.
I think we did.
Pretty sure I brought
Molly
it
said
up.
it'd be rich and complex.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I agree. There was some solid patter between characters. There was some solid, there's some solid depth to characters. We got a good sense of not only Harry and Sally's relationship, but their relationships to their
one
friends, to the friend, a friend, whose names are
known.
Yep,
By
they are. They are
The
known.
viewer,
Yes.
as they are said aloud.
Oh, no. There's
Bruno Kirby's character,
Lady.
obviously.
and Carrie Fisher.
And
Fisher's
Carrie
character.
Fisher's character.
But then she also has a third friend who
There's
like
an Alice in there
shows
somewhere.
up.
Yes.
But Alice.
Yeah.
That was her name. We remember her name.
Wasn't she like Marie or Marnie?
Susan?
Who?
Carrie Fisher?
I thought she was a Marie.
Okay, that
Marie
makes sense.
sounds
That
like
doesn't
something.
sound right.
Really?
Oh, we went
Princess
to their
Leia
wedding,
Organa.
guys.
That's true.
Oh,
we
maybe
really
Marie.
Thank you.
did. At any rate, they were rich and
Jack?
complex characters.
Or
Not Jack. And we got to see them playing Pictionary with a whole group of friends.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
They do have other friends. We did
Yeah.
learn they have other friends.
Yep. It is Marie, confirmed.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
excellent
And
work.
Jess.
Jess.
Jess, that's close to Jack.
Sure.
It is
No.
close, but
They're
not.
both J.
We just saw the movie.
Carrie Fisher crushes. I like her so much.
Me too. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
American
Bruno
treasure.
Kirby does a fine job. I like
He
him.
does with Bruno Kirby.
Yeah. But character script, Nora Ephron. I liked the script, and maybe it's because like this, and I'm no film historian, but I've seen a few movies.
Yes.
Oh, brother.
How many
Oh,
movies?
100 movies.
You've only
but-
seen 100 movies?
Oh, the best
Wow.
of them.
Beth,
this-
how many are on the list that you saw? Was it 101?
23.
Oh, 123.
Beth watched
Wow.
2 lists.
I watched 2 lists
Or
combined.
she combined 2 lists.
Yeah,
She did a mail
combined.
merge. She did a mail
Yep.
merge on the 2 lists.
Exactly. I know how to use Excel.
I got the union
NBD.
of them. But it also feels like I've seen this movie 1,000 times already. And that's probably because they made this one. Everybody was like, hey, good job. Let's
Right.
just keep doing that over and over.
Right.
Other people.
Yeah.
But because my viewing, this came after all those other ones, I was like, oh, okay, I get how this movie works. And it wasn't surprising really at all. So it made me wish I had watched it as a hot teen when I could have been blown away by it. But I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's no one's fault but the
My-
patriarchy for
Yes.
convincing me that movies with any sort of romance were for sissies.
Right.
And I should only watch He-Man?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of hot teens, I realized while watching this movie that Sally may have been a Jessica Rabbit of my youth.
Oh.
'Cause I was just like, oh, wow, Meg Ryan's really attractive in this movie. And then I remembered it was like a burst of nostalgia of just like, I remember thinking that the first time I saw this movie.
She does such a great job,
She's
too.
great.
That
Oh, yeah.
scene where she answers the door crying,
Mhm.
that physical comedy, everything she does with the tissue,
So good.
Yeah.
the
so
way she can
funny.
hardly get out the word,
Mhm.
I'll be 40 someday.
Mhm.
Oh, my gosh. Just chef's kiss all over the place.
Yeah, she's,
so good.
She's great.
And there is a moment where Billy Crystal starts to improvise. It's when they're in the museum and he's like talking like the pecan pie
Oh, yeah.
bit.
My sister always really enjoyed that and would start doing that all the time in my house.
And when you watch, you can see at one point her eyes dart to the right or whatever. And she's like checking to make sure they're still rolling.
Right.
But she stays with it. Like it is a split second.
Crushes it.
It's really good. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Do you
That
think
was
off screen Rob Reiner's just like, just go.
Go.
This is fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's saying P words a lot.
He's saying pepper,
Comedy.
paprikash.
This is the Billy Crystal we wanted.
This is why we hire Billy C for
Yeah.
our romantic comedy.
That accent's almost ethnic, but not quite. It'll fly.
Not enough for people to be offended.
No one can identify where it's from, so it can't be offensive.
That's right. It's me, Rob Reiner.
That'd be Rob Reiner, the biggest New York director alive.
I'm sorry. Go. Continue.
I was gonna say, I loved that moment actually in the movie because I felt like that was one of the moments where their chemistry was the strongest.
Agreed.
Like that when you kind of try to make the other one laugh and just by doing the dumbest thing possible, and then they like play along, and you're like, oh, that's so charming.
Yeah, it felt
She was like, I guess I'll do this dumb thing. It's silly, you know.
It felt very genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now can I?
Oh, go ahead.
We gotta sing the
Fine.
song, Molly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you already knew what she was going to say?
Yeah.
I feel like she was like, now can I?
Do you have some other
Lay
fun
down some facts.
besides the improv
Yes.
scene? All right.
Yes.
And where did you find these facts?
Wikipedia.
Oh,
Molly's
Molly's watching the movie we're watching. She starts to get bored and she looks at her
Check
phone.
phone.
She
And
doesn't
then
see
she
any
picks
texts
it
or
up,
emails, and so she opens
looks
up
on the internet, goes to
Wikipedia.
Safari,
Goes to
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. She types in the title of
puts
the
it in
movie.
search, and then
She scrolls until she
point where
gets
she
to production
pulls out
or fun facts or
information on the page.
something else.
And then
And
she
there's
scrolls
like
down and reads the whole thing.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
That's like a musical, a Broadway musical. All those
That's great.
different
Great.
songs.
Yeah, it just
Medley. It was a medley.
we should bring that to Broadway. By the way,
We rehearsed that for so long, and I feel like we
Yeah,
nailed it.
I think it paid off.
Okay. So
Dan, do you want to
Wanna-
remind everyone about?
Oh, yes, thank you. Quick reminder, if everyone that listens to the podcast donates $3, we will never do this segment again or only do this segment. Your $3 is a vote. And also, we're not sure if majority rules or we have to be unanimous. So submit an additional $1 vote. Whether or not it needs to be unanimous $3 or just a majority $3 on whether this segment is the only segment or never again.
Yeah.
Okay, so it turns out that Rob Reiner and Nora Ephron decided they want to work together far in advance. And Nora was really interested in the fact that Rob Reiner was going through a divorce and newly single and dating people again. I guess he was married to Penny Marshall,
Yes.
hot goss
That is how it goes.
from decades ago. And so part of Rob Reiner's relationship, with his best friend, was it Billy Crystal? I don't know. I didn't pay that much attention.
WhicFriendsAreFriends.com.
Yeah, exactly. But they were supporting each other. They were both fairly recently divorced. And so some elements of the movie, like when Harry and Sally are each watching Casablanca from home, they're watching together but separately, were things that they really did.
Who?
That they really would call each other. The two guy friends, Rob Reiner
not
and
Rob Reiner and Nora Ephron.
Yeah. So, but a lot of the Harry dialogue was based on Rob Reiner and his observations. So it is kind of observational humor. That
His
got
tight 20.
Sorta, yes, and then Nora Ephron based Sally on herself and her girlfriends, and the whole idea was to explore these two people being friends for a really long time. And I don't know, Dan, I don't want to steal your thunder, but there was a different ending intended.
Ah. Tell me
Yes.
about it.
What?
The
Tell me more.
realistic answer to the question, can they be friends?
Yeah.
Or the more realistic ending was for them to be friends and for them to not be romantically linked.
Yeah.
But that's a bummer of an ending to a romantic comedy for American audiences anyway. And so they they decided to have them get together at the end.
Did they actually film it, or?
That's where I get fuzzy. Wikipedia didn't cover that.
Okay.
Or at least the parts of Wikipedia I read. Because I have to be honest with you, I really enjoyed this movie, so I did less Wikipedia searching than I normally would. But I did want to get a couple key things to answer questions from the first half.
An important segment.
You're very welcome.
Can I have some clarification on that? They, the original ending or arc was that they never hooked up, and it was just a story of two friends who were friends.
No, they still hooked up, but it was a disaster, and they became friends.
They stayed.
Their resolution is that they're friends, but not that they become romantically linked.
They reconcile, but retain the friendship.
Yeah,
I see.
Which is a really beautiful idea about the sanctity of friendship.
It is.
Yeah, I like this movie. I enjoy that they get together. I think Billy Crystal's monologue of all the things he loves about her is like the one time in the movie where he's not Mr. Stand-Up Man and actually is good acting man. But at the same time, no one makes movies about really good friends that are just friends. And it's kind of a bummer not to get that deep friendship love explored as much as romantic love.
A counterpoint, Booksmart, and to some extent Superbad, I think are both really good movies about just friendship.
Yeah. Those are both, yes.
But those are
I've seen one of those, and I agree with you. But also, those are friends who are not sexually attracted to each other's gender, right? I haven't seen Booksmart.
Well, Booksmart, one of them is attracted to women.
Oh, okay.
But not necessarily to her friend.
Yeah.
No. Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I see what you're saying.
But yeah, that's kind of the thing. I mean, that is kind of the funny thing about this movie is just sort of like it is. You could like a valid criticism of the movie is that it technically proves dumb college Billy Crystal right. You know, where like they don't end up staying friends. Yeah, which I do feel like I agree that it's definitely something that would be refreshing to see more often. I think it's refreshing just to see, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's why the show Friends was so popular, because at least at first they weren't really hooking up with each other.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And then they all were.
Yeah, because they were on the air too long.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know. What if Joey and Rachel get together?
Yeah.
How's that work? Okay. Try
that
this.
is what I will say. Breaking news. Beep, the television show Schitt's Creek is a delight.
Yes.
And that is one of the things I really appreciated about it, is that two of the characters are like, they sort of are initially set up as sort of a romantic pairing in the early part of the show. But then they sort of, over time, it's like their friendship is like very much solidified in the run of the show. And I have found that very refreshing. Among many other things I find refreshing about the show. There's a whole documentary about it on Netflix now. Check it out.
A documentary about Schitt's Creek?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very
about
good.
the making of the last season.
Yeah.
Shit's doc? Shit doc.
Yeah, Shit Doc. Go look up Shit Doc. And if you find something called Shit Doc and you watch it and you're mad about it, remember to talk to Dan Jaquette, not me.
Call in.
Yes,
our phone
absolutely.
number.
Call
And
in.
our phone
What's that number?
612
What is the actual number? Does anyone know?
06
It's
9197253348.
Can you do that again, Molly, please?
Put-a-do. Oh, I was just kidding. I don't know.
Those are just random numbers?
It's
Well,
612
A
Zero.
0
Put-a-do.
Put-a-do.
Yeah. But then erase
my
the
God.
last 4 digits you've typed.
The last 4 digits don't matter, but you definitely do.
We're so
You can
bad
definitely
at this.
find the number at totesrecall.com.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Alright, I got it. Yeah.
Before we leave the ending of the movie too quickly, I also want to add, I loved in the script, it takes on the whole format. And I also loved the way Sally was so smart and direct, and like,
Oh yeah.
Billy Crystal was pulling a bunch of negs and dumb stuff, and you rarely see women characters just call people out on that. And there are a few incredible moments where she's like, "Hey, I'm not your consolation prize."
Boom.
Which is like, bam, and then like hangs up the phone. Or when he makes this big romantic gesture and shows up, she's like, "That's not how life works.
Yeah.
You don't just get to show up at the party because you're lonely."
Right.
And think about that versus Jerry Maguire, which is the worst romantic comedy ever created.
Here we go.
I would
Coming
say
in hot.
even
Take.
Coming in hot.
worse than any Hallmark movie, because that whole like "you had me at hello" and all of that bit is basically, he says to her, "I want to get together with you because I'm lonely. I don't
Really?
like being lonely."
I don't remember this movie
that's
at
what
all.
it boils down to. And she's like, "Great, I've been desperate for you to notice me this whole time. Sure, I'll take it." I mean, there's more words, but that is essentially what it comes down to. So it was really nice for in this script for her to be like, just because you're lonely on New Year's and it's a holiday doesn't mean you get to do this.
But also, what about that "show me the money" scene?
Yeah. Show the money.
I've never seen the movie. Does he show him the money?
I think so.
Does he?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
He definitely
He
says
becomes
it.
his only client.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. But then at the same time, he does get to show up. Like, he gets to show up and say it. I mean, he has to like flesh out his thesis of "I love
Yeah.
you," but then it
Right.
like does work, right? He does get to show up.
Well, no, but the line that he says of when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with someone, you want that to start right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's next level.
It's not a bad line.
I
Oh,
think.
it's a good
that's-
line.
I think
It's way better
like,
than
yeah.
I'm lonely.
Yeah.
And it's New Year's.
Yeah, that's the part that makes it like this is where rom-coms typically would end, and then it ends happy, and she's like, "No," and then he's like, "Well, here's this let's peel this onion on why I'm actually saying that."
Mm-hmm.
That's new. In fact, it's so new that I have there aren't many rom-coms that I've seen now that have that kind of ending.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I like about this movie is that, and Molly talked about this like pretty early on in the first half, is like they actually bother to like make them real people.
Yeah.
Right. Both of them.
Yep.
God forbid.
That would be terrible. Before we move too far away from can men and women be friends, we have
Yes.
a Discord response question.
Who
Go to
likes Discord? We like Discord. Go to patreon.com/totes3call.
hyphen pod
.com.
Anyway, you definitely heard the URL correctly in that song.
It's in there somewhere.
Yep.
So Carzon asks, do you think the movie's answer about men and women being able to be non-romantic friends holds up? In particular, nowadays with the vast array of gender/sexual attraction spectrum, specifically thinking about asexual/ace folks. So I think you can sort of broaden the thesis of like, can people who might want to bang
Yeah.
be friends? And I think that could still be so universal. I think it's still a worthwhile question to ask. So like, can you really be friends with people that you might envision it turning into something quote unquote more than friends?
I have a comment on this.
Please
I
jump
think
in.
in regular life, the place where people who might otherwise be attracted to each other form a bond and friendship is work spouses. Because a key ingredient of friendship is spending time together, at least initially. And it helps to have some common interest or common purpose. And there aren't that many places as an adult that you would have that with someone who you might otherwise go on a date with, right? But with work relationships, typically it's work, right? You've got this barrier already.
Right.
You should probably, I mean, depending, every situation is totally different. And I'm just saying, you know what I mean? That I think it allows for a real depth of relationship there that there isn't that much availability for. in the rest of adult life.
And I think that this movie is very much a product. I mean, the movie and sort of like the basic philosophy of the care of Harry's whole thing, like it's very much a product of, like, I don't know, like I feel like we're still at this point, especially in American culture, we're like very gradually getting away from these very like heteronormative, like post-war Americana ideas of like what relationships are even supposed to be between human beings, right?
Right.
Like there's definitely a lot of very particular ideas of how, not only how men and women are supposed to interact with each other, but just how people in general are supposed to interact with each other. And I think we're just now starting to get enough people. What am I trying to say? Like enough people in our society are gaining enough of a nuanced view of what a relationship can be, or even of the kinds of relationships that people pursue, that we're starting to finally be able to like be a little more accepting of not having any particular definition of a relationship. You know what I mean? Because like even like, I don't know, like even friend is such a simplistic term, right?
Yeah.
Because like friend, because there's so many levels, there's different levels of intimacy to that too, or levels of vulnerability to even if there's no sexuality involved, like there's definitely like tiers of intimacy you have between any relationships you have with people. And I think because we have been such a repressed society for, I don't know, ever, that we're just still now starting to like navigate that, to like even have that conversation outside of what, I don't know. Like it just feels like Harry's position is perfectly valid from 1989's vision of relationships, even though he's supposed to be presented as kind of a goofball. But it's not like you would watch it at back then. You could see people being like, yeah, he's kind of got a point. You know what I mean? Whereas now you can maybe be a little more like, oh yeah, it's too bad that maybe they don't just end up as friends. And that's totally cool, and that the movie's okay with that.
Yeah, and I think you get like sort of like, you know, this movie is sort of contributes to it, but also as a reflection of society, and also it's certainly not the only piece of culture and art that has this premise, but it gets into our brains. I remember being a sweet boy with a lot of friends that were girls, and sort of feeling some tension there of like, oh, I have to like them or else like that's the road here. And even I remember my mom telling me like how good it was that I was friends with girls. All good relationships started with friendship, which is like helpful advice, but also sets you up to think, oh, then that's what this is the start of, maybe.
Yeah.
And that being somewhat counterproductive then.
Yes.
To view that every friendship needs to go to this level, or is maybe going to this level, and I have to think out that whole path.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we don't allow, especially boys, to have friendships with girls like we did a generation ago. Maybe the teens are just out there willy-nilly making friends with all genders and being comfortable and confident. If they are, I wish them well, but also go fuck yourself. You don't know how it was. Yeah, because it sort of sets you up for failure, and then also then you get the people that have some underlying anger when it's like doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
You see the real
I mean,
dark
that's
side
like
of
the
this.
whole idea of friend zoned.
Right.
Yeah, right?
Like maybe it's not a zone. Maybe that's just what the relationship
And
is.
maybe that's like fine and valuable.
Yeah.
And good,
Right.
yeah, and like
It is.
of an equal value. Like, oh no, it's a good thing that you have a friend.
Yeah. Friends are great.
Yeah.
Teens, friends are great.
And parents, stop doing that thing where if your child befriends someone who is especially, I mean, there's multiple layers to not doing this, but like if your child befriends someone of the opposite gender, don't do some weird thing where you like tease them about it being their girlfriend or whatever, because one, that's heteronormative bullshit, and two, who cares? Like they're just two kids that are like enjoy each other's company, and why do you have to put this weird thing into their head that might actually traumatize them in the long run.
Yeah.
For the
man.
reasons that Dan just described.
They both love to swing.
Jesus.
Oh, wait, no.
I mean,
That was the wrong choice of words. On the playground, you know.
Yeah,
like,
we know. We get you.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
you
it.
know.
they both love Pokemon or whatever.
But then even
Yeah.
even swinging, I remember playing on the swings. I was a big swing kid. No big deal.
Me too.
This
Big
is a
fan.
real thing.
Yeah, if you ever were like in sync with someone
Oh,
else
right.
swinging at the same time,
You were married.
Were married, and
Yes.
if you were two dudes, then you were gay lords, and you had to get in there quick
Oh.
and say, "You're the gay, I'm the lord," or else
What?
Oh,
you
wow.
were gay. This
What?
is playground
this
rules.
is so
It's awful.
depressing.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is terrible. I've never heard
Yeah.
that.
Listen,
But if you were quick, then you could be the lord every time, and then do a sick
there's-
backflip off the
so many-
swings, and
so
feel
many
weird
layers
and
to
bad
that.
about
yeah.
all your interactions. And then
Yeah,
you
and
slide
then,
down
like,
the slide,
just-
and
and
the
just-
sixth graders would say, "No, that's just a pile of sand on there." But oh, it was a big lump of dog shit that you slid through, and then you go and cry behind one of the sheds in elementary
Yeah.
school because you're just a
Yeah.
sweet boy in short white
Yep.
shorts.
Oh,
This is a real Brian situation.
And that's how Harry met Sally.
that's right. But
Oh,
seriously,
Dan.
like, just let people be friends, and who cares?
Yeah.
Can I
that's
just say one more story that's maybe not
Please.
as visceral as Dan's? So sorry, that really stinks. But
Literally.
you know, I had a baby within the last year. Or so,
What?
and
Wait, what?
Brag
I
alert.
know. We haven't really talked about it that much, but anyway, I was out with a bunch of other moms. We all had babies around the same time, and so we had
Okay.
formed this group to be
Must be
supportive.
nice. Yeah.
It was because it was pre-COVID, and so we could actually meet out
Yes.
places. But of course,
Wow.
it turns a lot of heads when 8 people with babies about the same age, could, come into a restaurant or whatever, sit around a table. And elderly people are so sweet, and this older lady, struck up a conversation and asked, we sort of went around the table and said, who our kids were or whatever. And I have a daughter, and she happened to be the only girl in attendance at that time. And the very sweet lady said, "Oh, which one is she going to marry?"
Oof.
And man, I bit my tongue, and I'm not sure I should have, but I was just like halfway out the door to saying, "Oh, she might be into girls." Or
Also, she's a baby.
oh, any gender. And she's a baby. I know. And that's part of what stopped me is both like how rude it is for this older lady who's just trying to be nice. And I don't need to crush her Minnesota spirit,
Right.
because like confronting a Minnesotan, especially of a certain age, is like, there is no cool way to do it. Like it is harsh, even
you
if
are
you're trying to be
unsheathing
gentle.
Your blade. Yeah.
Yeah, it is really, really hard to walk that line. But also because I was like, and my head was in this whole tailspin of like, well, what if she doesn't even choose a gender?
Yeah.
And what am I dressing her in the right clothes? Like I am having this whole experience while somebody's ordering cinnamon buns. And I'm just like, it shouldn't start this soon.
Right.
But it does. So
It does.
anyway, I guess to the question, I think people can be friends. I'm friends with guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're 4 incredibly attractive people.
Yeah. and we're friends.
Other. Yeah.
So,
So there.
So take that,
remember
Harry
that.
and Sally.
Yeah.
whatever.
I think
Get
it
outta
is
here.
interesting that the movie's ending answered that question in one way, and then they changed it to answer a question another way because of what American audiences expected. I mean,
Yep.
if that doesn't say like
Right.
what the societal norm was at the time.
But at the same time, they're so cute together. God damn it.
oh man,
Like,
They are cuties.
yeah,
They're
they're pretty
cuties.
great.
They have so many meet cutes too.
so many.
They just keep meeting over and over again.
yeah.
Yeah. I kept thinking as we talked about comparing this to the Sleepy Seattle movie, since they're written by and starring some of the same people. You get where I'm going with this.
Yes.
Yeah,
But then also like I think I might like that one better. And I think it comes down to your male lead. Like Billy Crystal is like fine, but he's just so on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Tom Hanks.
I mean-
Swoon alert. Also, he's like way more tragic. He's got a
Yeah.
dead wife. And like a
Oh
kid.
man, that movie. I just saw that. Well, did I already say that I just saw that recently for the first time? I have a lot to say about it.
Well,
We should watch that.
maybe we'll watch it sometime.
Next Christmas.
Yes.
Old people made me think of old people who are in this movie.
God damn it.
And
That
they are the
transition
best.
was flawless.
Well,
by the way.
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Those old couples, I mean,
The best.
the
That-
best.
Is that that structure, tool, I don't know, that thing in a movie is so effective. Just two couples being interviewed, staring straight down the barrel, being friendly and natural with each other. I can watch it all day. I mean, they do it also
Same.
in Hey, Here's the Matchmaker. Isn't it
What?
good to be a match? That show,
I'm sorry.
Indian Matchmaker,
What?
right?
Indian, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, on Netflix. A great
Wow.
streaming service that you can get for an affordable price with a large selection of content. Netflix.com,
damn
promo code TOTES.
What? Oh, right. Right. I forgot our scheme.
But it's so, I don't know, it's so nice to watch. It's just so nice to watch nice people
Charming.
recant their nice times.
So charming.
Yeah,
I
I had a late bet that I texted while we watched the movie that
Yes.
the old people. I based it off of what I saw in the first it's not a monologue. What would it be?
Duo
Called a
long.
vignette.
Vignettes.
Vignette, where I was like, this story sounds like a real story, but those people are actors. Like the way that they were interacting, I was like, there's no way that they're a real couple. So I made a late bet that they were real stories, but performed by actors. And it turns out that is true.
Nice.
It's true. Yeah, they were beautifully performed.
Where'd they get those stories?
Some sources say Rob Reiner collected the stories, and some say Nora Ephron did.
Wow.
That she would
mystery.
use it as when she didn't feel like writing, she would search out stories for inspiration
Where?
and to put in the movie. I don't know. She talks
Probably
to
just
people.
go to
I guess.
diners and like assault people at their table.
It's like, hey,
Hey, how'd you meet?
hey, you guys having a beautiful time? How
You're
would
in
you
love.
meet?
But that is actually one of my favorite questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm at back when we used to go to parties and things, and I would
Back
meet,
when you were allowed to be in a room with an old person and not feel guilty about
Right.
it.
But sometimes it's nice if people seem open to it.
Yeah.
To ask, hey, how did you meet?
That made me think of like at the end when they're at that New Year's party, I was like, I know that I have been inside of my home for too long when I'm like, I want to go to a party like that. It looked so fun. Everyone
Yeah.
was dancing and dressed up and there was food. And I was like, I want to go to a party so bad. And I hate parties so much. It looks so fun.
And she didn't even eat her appetizer.
Ugh.
Or
What, a
whatever it is
shrimp thing?
past. Yeah.
Are you talking about
Don't
the
you
wedding?
know in 30 years that you aren't going to be able to go outside? Eat the shrimp.
You idiot.
Yeah.
Just enjoy life while you can.
Oh, man.
Oh boy.
Yep. I mean, we'll enjoy it again. I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's fine. It's
Hey,
just,
look, we're
you
all
know.
talking. Look at us. We're having a
Yeah, look at us.
conversation. We're partying,
Four
right?
incredibly attractive people talking to each other.
yeah, 4 absolute 10s chatting it up in our homes. It's like a New
Yeah.
Year's party because we look
Yeah.
so glamorous.
It's
Yeah.
like a party, but you could go to bed right after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't got to get a taxi car.
No.
Happy New
Shut all the
I'm Mr. Smith. Nope. Shoot.
What? Speaking
I
of
was-
music, this soundtrack
Yes.
fucking owns. It's got a
So
bunch
good.
of great classic jingles in
So
it.
good. All performed by Harry Connick Jr.
Well, not all of it.
A lot of it.
The music, like the piano, all the piano musicians is Harry Connick, but there's like some Sinatra, there's some Louis Armstrong in there.
I did happen to notice that he was nominated for a Grammy
Ooh.
for the soundtrack. He was a big deal when that came. He was like, people were swooning over
Yeah,
him.
when he popped up in the beginning, the opening credits, my wife was like, "Oh, is this what made Harry Connick Jr. a thing?"
Yep.
Yeah. I was
According
wondering
to
the
my
same
limited
thing.
research.
Nice.
Then he was on Will and Grace.
Oh.
Great.
Oh. I had bet that Billy Crystal would have a mom who was baby Dracula.
Yeah.
I think is how that bet
Right.
ended up. And did it happen? No parents
no moms
in this movie, but he did have a sex dream where his mom was an Eastern European judge.
East German.
So East German, all right.
Yeah,
Which-
that's essentially a Dracula.
That's
a Dracula.
pretty close.
Yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
basically
close.
a Dracula.
yeah.
So I'm gonna get that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm willing
Yeah,
to.
really?
Give
You're
that
going to give that to
Yeah.
yourself? Because
Yeah.
she's mentioned about a dream?
Yeah.
I mean, he's reading a lot into it, but that's the deepest part of Billy Crystal's psyche. So
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got a Dracula
Wow.
mom.
I just don't feel like we can really dispute him on that, especially since I made some bets that might need some wiggle room as well.
Such as?
Well, I don't know. The whole year situation is always a mess.
Yeah.
I do think I got the Bechdel-Wallace bet correct, though. I think we had at least 3 interactions.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
let's
And
run
they
down
come
the
late
road.
in
They
this
do come
movie.
late. It's
Yeah.
it's like hard to
I
watch.
will say, yeah, the first I don't know, 3/4 of the movie, there are no passes, and each time, there was one time where Carrie Fisher is talking to Meg Ryan about getting herself flowers, and it's like she starts this whole sentence about buying flowers, and then the sentence ends with her talking about a man, and I was
Yep.
like, God damn it!
Yeah.
It was so close.
Yeah, you for the Carrie Fisher Bechdel Wallace teases, that was your Billy Crystal and Bruno Kirby do every sport that is, or go to a sport that isn't baseball.
Yep,
Yeah,
they went to a Giants game.
I was genuinely mad when it cut
New York
to
Giants.
Yeah, when it cut to a football game. I was legitimately pissed. I was like, God damn it!
It was he you would think it was baseball because Billy Crystal's obsessed with baseball.
Loves it.
But also he had a baseball bat in his car or in
I
the car at the
know.
beginning.
One of the two things he took, the two things he had in that car, apparently, you learn when he pulls them out, when he's apparently going to go live in Central Park
Yeah.
at the end of
Just drop
college,
me off here.
is a baseball bat and just a little rucksack. It's basically a bindle that he baseball bindle.
Yeah.
But no, we don't see the bat again until he yells at a child, which was a solid joke, by the way, where they're talking about how he's like, I feel like I've grown. And then he gets in an argument with the child about whether he's still got time in the batting cage.
Yeah,
It's true.
great.
And I wonder, I don't know if that arch where she drops him off, I wonder if that's Washington Park.
Oh, yeah, it is. You're right.
Okay.
So
Well, it doesn't really
maybe
matter. I
He
mean,
was
just one
going
less
to
reason.
NYU grad school.
Oh, maybe for his
Maybe.
lawyer
Oh.
degree.
Political
that makes
lawyering.
sense.
consultant.
I did think it was weird that I feel like they wanted it to be drop him off in a
Iconic New York
recognizable
baby.
location, but
Yeah.
I'm like, why wouldn't you drop him off in front of his new house?
Or yeah. Or at least a station, like a subway station or something.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe he's got to go hustle the ladies.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, he could be a gigolo. The way they talk about how much sex he's having in New
Right.
York.
Right.
That's a good point.
I liked that they made him a sexy character. I will say that
Okay.
because I would say that it plays a little bit against type or what I would
does.
expect.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? It's nice to add a little spice to that character.
Mm-hmm.
It's great that he's really good at sex.
Yeah.
And that is.
Or he thinks he's really
Fine.
good at sex.
Well, that's actually an excellent point. Yeah, we don't know.
He's a frequent sexer, but whether he's any good at it, we don't really know.
Yeah.
Well, Sally
Meg
doesn't
Ryan
kick him out of her
seemed to
bed.
Enjoy
Yeah.
herself.
Yeah, but that's that's years. Well, yeah, years of emotional intimacy to lock that in.
Very good point.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we will never know.
We'll
So we
never
know
know.
whether they banged, but
Well,
we
we
don't
know
know
they
the
banged,
quality
yes.
of it.
Yes.
We know that.
Billy Crystal or Meg Ryan, tweet at us. Hashtag quality bang. Hashtag okay bang.
Quantity.
Quantity bang.
I don't know. I just feel like quantity has to go after quality.
Fair,
Yeah.
fair enough.
There was
Like
a
a-
moment. Okay, so they talk about Casablanca 3 times
Yes.
throughout the movie.
Yes.
And there was a moment where they talk about Humphrey Bogart and
Ingrid Bergman?
Bergman, Ingrid Bergman,
Inky Birdman.
Inky Bergman. they confirm that they bang. And I was like, I'm pretty sure we had a whole conversation about that on the Casablanca episode.
Oh, we did.
So all I'm saying is that
We were there first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nora.
We had this conversation.
We were there first in the year 2000 whatever.
Yeah.
So eat shit, 1989 movie.
Yeah, I also during that scene, I was like, oh, they've synced up their movies too easily. Like we have to go through a whole countdown thing to get it going.
It was
this
just
is
airing on
1990.
TV, bro.
Yeah, that's how I
Channel
got there.
11.
I was like,
Okay.
89. It'd be even worse. What do they do? Like say it on the phone. It's like, oh, this is broadcast television. I remember it now.
Yeah, you remember when people used to just watch movies that were playing on TV
Yeah.
rather than
Like,
just selecting
it's
it?
on, or like flip through the TV guide. Teens, there used to be this book you would get at in the grocery store aisle.
Teens,
and it
a
would tell
book
you-
is a series of pages that are folded together and then adhered so that they stay together.
Yeah. And you had to be
Sometimes
like,
with
oh,
staples,
what's on
sometimes with
tonight? Gremlins 2 is on TBS.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, and also it was a time when someone would call your landline, and you would sit in the room and not answer because you would screen the phone call by making them talk on your voicemail
Yes.
for a little while,
Yes.
and then you might pick up or might not pick up.
Yes.
And you probably, if you did, then it would record your conversation as well. Usually the tape didn't stop.
Ooh.
So you just had to be really aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta
in
make
case
sure that
somebody came
you're-
back later.
Maybe your parents are not listening to your conversation
Yeah.
downstairs where the answering machine is.
Yeah, so
I guess
you might
that
want to
was-
just
push.
That's even later. Yeah.
push
Yeah,
stop,
push a
or what you
button.
say is, "I'll call you right back," and you put the receiver, which was just the talking and the hearing part,
Right.
down onto the mechanic of the phone, which was where the rest of the phone and the keypad
Yeah,
lived.
phones used to have
that what
buttons
it's
on
called?
one box and then the talkie heary part on another part of the
Yeah.
box.
I mean, not
Yeah.
Not
so
even a
old
box.
school where you had to hold it like the talkie part separate.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was hard, y'all. It was a hard time.
it was. a
But
hard
it was
time.
great time for storytelling.
It really
We'll never have
is.
anything that good again.
You kids don't know how good or bad you got it. I'm unclear on what our stance is.
Just different. You just have it differently.
Yeah.
Have a different.
Yeah.
I'm mad about it.
I'm so mad.
It's not what I had, so you must be idiots.
Pick a gender and stick to it.
Yeah, that's
Let's burn some coal. Coal.
cool. Cool.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
Anyway, everything's great. We'll be fine.
But anyway, it passed
Fine.
the Bechdel Wallace at least 3 times.
Yes.
I counted when we were watching, and now I don't remember it all, but it'll be boring to list out for people anyway. So
It was at least 2, probably 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Let's say
saying.
you nailed it.
I'm going to say you
Thank
nailed it
you.
as well.
Dracula Mom, 3 Bechdel Wallace tests. We're all winners here.
Yeah, those definitely both occurred with the same level of veracity.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the L on the audible baseball umpire.
I mean, that's good.
Because-
Yeah, we kind of have to. The fact that
They-
baseball wasn't even involved in the movie.
Yeah.
But they
hey,
did get
you know
it.
what I did see though? I did see a hot dog stand.
Oh man, I
Great hot dog
was so
stand.
pumped when that hot dog stand showed up.
I missed the hot dog stand.
What?
What?
What were you
It's like-
doing?
I
Getting a
got
hot
up
dog?
to pour myself a beverage,
What beverage?
Oh.
a Diet Coke.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, was it
And-
delicious and refreshing?
Well, I didn't even get to drink it because I immediately knocked it over on the counter and then yelled very loud. And then someone was kind enough to wipe it up for me while I cut the next part, but I did miss the hot dog cart.
Oh,
Well, here's
well,
a
we'll
beauty.
take it. We'll find a picture and send it to you.
Yeah, it was really good. Very New York baby hot dog cart. Speaking of New York vendors, my newest, maybe my MVP of the movie, even though they had no speaking lines, but maybe the newest credits hero, Totes Rico credits hero, was the Christmas tree salesman, who was a very New York baby merchant. Like he had a little cap on. He seemed like sort of a gruff older dude. He gestured wildly at his Christmas trees, and his name is apparently John Arceri, Christmas tree salesman. And I love him so much.
John Arceri.
John Arceri.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, you want a fucking fur? You want a Dutch fur? Yeah, I got Dutch furs.
Douglas fir.
Douglas fir. That's what I meant.
You put some tinsel and some lights on this one, it will brighten your family's
Knock
day.
your fucking socks off.
You buy a fake tree and you basically hate Christmas.
You buy one of those aluminum trees, I swear to God, you'd never come to me or my family again, or I will rip your throat out with my
You might as well decorate it with rats.
We're selling the scent of nature here to remind us that the dark times will end. But if you buy a goddamn fake tree, the dark times will continue when I drop you in the goddamn bay.
If you think you can come back to my pile of trees on the side of the street, next to probably an apartment building of some kind, it's unclear, after you bought an aluminum tree last year, what, did you think you didn't want to clean up after yourself? You were too good for a couple of nature's blessings to fall on your living room floor? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, you'll love the fucking scent of an evergreen filling your home.
What are you going to do, light a friggin' candle? You piece of shit.
Garland ain't gonna cut it.
No, I won't help you carry that tree. I'm John Arceri. You drag it down the street like a bum.
What do I look like? What do I look like? I look like I got time to walk away from the rest of these trees to help you
I gotta
move this
vend
one
these
tree?
trees. I got 12 mouths to feed.
What, I'm going to let my idiot son try to sell these trees? No, absolutely not.
He's a good-for-nothing artist. Doesn't know thing about tree salesmanship.
Oh, he says he's going to start something called the internet. Some garbage about computers talking to
wants
each other.
Give everybody mail. I got mail for you. It's a tree.
Anyway, John Arceri, Christmas tree salesman.
Yeah, great salesman.
My MVP was every single person on that like thing in the airport, the like moving walkway on
Oh
the
my
airport.
God,
Yes.
so
They were
good.
so good.
Yeah,
What was
they
the
passed a
direction they
lady
were
in like a
given?
giant trench coat with huge sunglasses who's just staring straight ahead.
Yes.
She's, like,
Yeah.
obviously a secret agent.
Yeah, either a secret agent or like literally two children stacked on top of each other trying to get on a plane.
Yeah, it's real good. It's real good. There's so many New York Baby MVPs.
Oh, amazing.
We should talk about DVDs and Sally orgasming in the diner.
Oh,
pretending
DVD
to.
moments, yes.
DVD moments. I'll have what she's having. Yeah, good scene. Holds up. Comedy.
Comedy, LOL.
Acting.
Acting, LOL.
Timing. Writing. It all comes together.
Yeah.
I think the old lady, she's not even that old, who says, I'll have what she's having.
Yes.
I laughed harder at her first scene where she's just like staring so hard. And Sally just like, yes, give me more of this. I need to see this woman experience an orgasm in a diner.
Fun fact.
Oh, here's this
Rob
fun
Reiner's
fact.
mom.
That's Rob Reiner's mom?
Yep.
What? Do y'all have what she's having, lady?
Yep.
Oh, it's amazing.
Wow.
Robbie, what do you want me to do? You want me to pretend that I'm entranced by Maggie having an orgasm in the middle of the diner because of the sandwich is so good?
Molly, is that line also improvised?
The line, apparently Billy Crystal came up with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like I learned a movie fact once about that.
Do you think the original line was just Rob Reiner's mom being like, I will also have this sandwich?
Oh,
I think
give
she
me
got a
one of those
speaking part.
pastrami orgasm sandwiches.
That was the original line. Pastrami orgasm sandwiches.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
To me, though, one of the funniest moments of the movie is, and I thought the most surprising when I first watched the movie, where Harry and Sally are trying to set up their friends with each other. And instead, what happens is the two friends are attracted to each other instead of to either Harry or Sally.
Yes.
And each of them counsels their friend to please let the other person down easy and follow up maybe the next day or whatever. And the speed and hilarity with which that not only doesn't happen, but it's like the most efficient script writing ever.
Yes.
Where Jess goes, yeah, I don't know if I feel like walking. I might grab a cab. Carrie Fisher's character, Maria's like, I'll come with you. And like they get into a cab and it hauls ass off.
Yeah.
It took
It's
me
beautiful.
longer to describe the scene than for it to happen, and
Yeah.
it was so exquisite.
Yeah, it's
They're
wonderful.
Really
horned up.
enjoyed that.
They got to get back. I guess, do they bang that night?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do
Yeah.
they bang seven? Yeah, it's an
Yes.
easy one.
Did they bang?
In the cab.
Did
it's
they
nice.
bang?
Did
they
they
bang?
Yes, they did. They definitely banged.
Mhm,
Yes,
for
they
sure.
Yeah, the dynamic between those four were really great. I know we already talked about this, but like the movie did a really good job of making them feel like genuine people, which I guess is also something that maybe it goes underappreciated when you think about like all the rom-coms that came after it. Is like so many rom-coms in like the 90s and beyond. It's just like the friends are always just like these like absolute like caricatures of human beings where they maybe have like one identifying element to their personality. But the fact that like all four of them seem like genuine people who like you could actually see the four of them like getting along, right?
Yeah.
And just hanging out.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being like, oh, I'm a crazy guy. I sound like Eddie Pepitone now. That'd be an amazing rom-com best friend. Oh, I'm your best friend whose his entire thing is that everything is shit and I'm full of rage. Oh, but I'm going to hook up with your sexy, quirky friend who makes decoupage for Etsy.com.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, though? You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
that was very specific.
It does, yeah.
Etsy.com, a great website to find gifts this holiday season,
Yeah, you
connect
don't
with
wanna-
local artists.
Check out Etsy.com.
Etsy.com.
Maybe they get a decent cut of the money. I hope they do.
Who knows?
Etsy.com.
You can still avoid shopping local. Well, before we get to our final reviews of the movie, we have two things to do. One,
Ooh.
we need to shout the names into the ether of our new patrons because we love them so much.
I believe the official term is put their name in lights in audio form.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
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 Thank you so much, Magnus.
Yeah.
Yes. And thank you to Catherine Kepsel. Thank you,
Aw,
Catherine.
yay.
Pew.
Pew.
And the other thing we do is read a review of our podcast, totesrecall.com, in the style of a character from the movie we just watched. The
Oh, I know which
Harry
character it's going
and
to be.
Sally show. And we have a review. Thank you to the
Yay.
review.
How fun.
The Christmas tree salesman.
Christmas tree guy? All
Yeah.
right. Dan is the originator of the character. Do you want to?
John Arceri,
this?
Christmas Tree Salesman?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can do that, sure.
Okay.
Toting great podcast. 5 stars. Over the last year or so, Totes Recall has steadily been rising towards the top of my podcast feed. The concept of the show is solid. Solid as a straight Douglas fir that you could get for the hottest prices over at the corner of New York and Manhattan Avenue. The hosts try to recall a movie they barely remember. See the movie and eat an undisclosed amount of pizza and salad. And then meet up again to discuss how the movie held up through harsh 2020 eyes. Hey, whose eyes are harsher than 1989 John Arceri, am I right? Oh, I'm full of cigar smoke and probably unhealthy amounts of saturated fat. But the real heart of the show is the genuine and wholesome chemistry of the four hosts. Totes Recall is a true feel-good podcast, And it reminds me of why I started listening to podcasts in the first place. 5 of 5 Poultrygeists.
Oh.
This is from Vagavaka from Sweden. Hey, all the way from Sweden. Who's got better trees than Sweden? I assume.
So thank you, or should I say, talk.
Is that
I
Swedish?
just looked that up. It's thanks in Swedish.
Oh, my God. Pandering.
welcome.
Pandering.
Hey. Yeah,
Hey,
send us
thank
some
you.
Swedish tree pictures.
Sure.
Oh, yes, please.
There's probably some good pines.
I have
I don't
no
know.
idea.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That was actually really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, the rating scale, as we all remember,
Of course.
is meat cutes, which
Right.
are cute meats
I
that
have met.
meats, flesh of animals, that kind of meat,
Mhm.
that have met cutely at some point in their life, and I guess are still together.
Yep.
I would assume that these meats are perfect applicants to be interviewed on a couch for a
Yeah.
movie
Yeah.
like When Harry Met Sally.
Yep.
So Dan, you gave it a 4.
Yes.
Thinking you would enjoy it. It's a good movie, but maybe you enjoyed it more as a lovesick teen, and so it wouldn't hold up as much.
Right. It definitely brought back a lot of nostalgia of being a lovesick teen and being like, when will that be for me? But now, as a 35-year-old, canonical 35-year-old who is in a stable monogamous relationship, it was still very cute and fun. And I loved it. I thought it was one of the better romantic comedies I've seen to this day. Do better romantic comedies of the 2020s. So I'm going to say 5 meet cutes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Awesome. Beth, you gave it 5. You were a little worried that since you fell asleep last time you watched it, it can't be that good, but still gave it 5.
yeah.
So I don't know.
I think I was just really tired the first time I tried to watch it because this movie is great. The movie ended and I went, cute. I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to stay at a 5.
Wow.
Wow.
So much meat.
Solid meat.
It's like that sandwich that she was like stacking the pieces from.
Oh yeah.
Was she removing the meat or putting more meat on it?
Unclear.
Unclear.
She was
Just
arranging it exactly the way she
rearranging,
wanted it.
Oh.
Because
That can
she
be
was
arranged.
particular about her
Yes.
food orders. I gave it a 5 meats that all smashed into each other in an airport and then
Oh,
were
right.
drizzled with bold Arby's sauce.
Do you think that this pile of meat then stuffed itself into a trench coat and put on sunglasses to try to get on a
Yes,
plane?
Absolutely. And I also really liked it. Something about it felt sort of, I felt like I could see the strings moving more than I wanted to. And even if it invented the formula, it still felt formulaic.
Mm-hmm.
But it did a great job of that. I really did enjoy it, but I'm going to drop it to a 4.
Wow.
Still really liked it. But something was not as bold. I was overly bold with my sauce application
I see.
to get lost in my metaphor. Molly, you gave it a 4. Wow.
Yeah.
And I wrote good notes, but they're unintelligible. Oh, something about you weren't going to like the pressure of you got to be 30 and get married,
Yeah.
but it probably would be fun.
Yeah. That's all true. I'm going to use my time to cram in 2 things I wish I had mentioned.
Wow.
One, we talked about it off air, but forgot to bring up on air how few people of color there were in this movie.
Yes.
Which is a high bar for 1989, I guess. But it was sort of sad that I think Beth pointed out that like every waiter was maybe
Yeah.
black. So that was sad times. And the other random thing I just want to bring up is one of my good friends had a meet cute in real life where she met a guy while sitting at the DMV.
Ooh.
Wow.
And they ended up having a very flirty conversation, exchanging numbers and going out on a date. And that was it. Turned out they didn't have that much in common.
No.
But she was so sad because she was like, that would have been the best story.
Really would have.
Yeah, we met at the DMV. We've been married for 35 years. It writes itself.
It really does.
So I guess what I'm saying is some of these meet cutes, don't last forever.
Yeah, don't stay in a relationship just because this origin story is really solid. Like,
Yeah.
Just send it to Rob Reiner
right.
at netscape.net
That's right.
and he can use it in his next story.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's legit.
Yeah.
It's really good advice.
Teens as well, your relationships and love life don't have to look like a movie. Movies present a specific and at times unrealistic view of what relationships are. So if you are expecting yours to be like a movie, you're setting yourself up for failure
And disappointment.
and disappointment.
And emotional trauma.
Yes.
And maybe even creating negative outcomes for the relationships that you're in because your
Yes.
expectations are set too high.
Yeah.
Yes. Or your
Not-
expectation is there should be drama. Like you should storm out of a room and they should
Right.
follow you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they will not.
If there's no grand gestures, they don't
Right.
love you.
Right.
People express their love in different ways.
Yes. Also,
Or maybe he's not in love with you. Maybe he's just a stalker.
yeah,
like-
right. I was going to say the
Movies
same
aren't
thing.
helpful.
Like maybe grand gestures outside of particular contexts are actually very problematic
Yeah.
and
Because he
can
should. Yeah.
and can maybe be interpreted in ways that you don't intend.
Yeah. Showing
so-
up at your workplace.
Oof.
Not always a great idea.
Probably never a great idea
You know?
unless you have like a very
Yeah.
specific
I mean-
relationship already established.
It's no one should show up at their own workplace.
Yeah,
be in
yeah.
workplaces.
Actually, hey, teens,
Teens, stop
quit
working.
your jobs. Don't worry
Become-
about if your relationship is a movie.
Yeah, become
Rise
a
up.
climate activist.
Yeah.
Seize the means of production.
Yes. Tear down the system that oppresses you.
Kill your masters.
Kill your masters.
Whoa.
What else? What else? What else? We're coming in hot. Come on.
Metaphorically.
Live free or die hard.
Yep. This is about when Harry met Sally.
And this is
And-
Molly's time that she.
Yep.
Yes.
And Molly, your rating is
5 meet cutes.
Oh.
Yeah. It was fun. What a fun movie.
It really
I'm
was.
for
super
it.
fun.
I was really into it. I had a great time.
Well-
Wait, what was the song? I already forgot.
No,
No, the Harry Connick song. What was the song you did?
Oh,
It was
it
nice.
had to be.
Oh, yeah.
you.
You are
Her-
a
her-
potato.
to be
I am
you.
a potato.
I gave you a 5 because you are alive. in my heart.
Oh, there we
go.
What are you doing, Dan? You're ruining this.
There was a tomato song in there.
You're being a real Helen right now.
Oh, how dare you!
Walking in during a nice song and just being awkward and
I
uncomfortable.
would never interrupt anybody experiencing the sharper image.
Sharper Image, where
It's
you can buy a
solid.
chair that will rub your legs and
And a pen that will write upside down underwater.
look over here. It's a screen that also is a
Does your
hairbrush.
taxes. Yes. It's a hairbrush. Hey, what we do is we buy one of those magnetic poetry sets and we just put nouns together until we have a product.
Yep.
Brought to you by Magnetic Poetry.
You've got no pictures of friends or family to put on your fridge? Put some words on there.
You just got to fill that void. Magnetic words. Fill the void in your life.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.